Listen up. You're tuning into the Entertainer Hotline Podcast.
We keep it turned up.
With your host, D Beats.
Okay.
Talk to him.
Welcome back to the Entertainer Hotline Podcast, where we link with the game changers and the culture shifters straight from the front line of entertainment. Today's guest is making history inside one of the most powerful tribute ever created for a music legend. She's bold, she's fierce, and a well-known dancehall artist. And now, she's repping inside the brand new Bob Marley Hope Road immersive experience live at Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas. Give a warm welcome to the talented and trailblazing Stacious.
It's just an amazing opportunity to be here. To finally talk, because it's been a while coming. We've always been in dialogue, and we're like, we're gonna let it happen, and finally it's happening. So thank you so much for having me.
Not a problem. First of all, how does it feel to be a part of something this massive?
Well, it's definitely, as you said, it's a big deal, and I am just overwhelmed to be a part of this new experience. It's immersive, it's fresh, and of course, it's tribute to one of the biggest legends to ever emerge from Jamaica. So it's definitely a privilege and an honor to represent and wave the red, not the red, we always put red in, but the black, the green, and the gold, and represent all the time, you know. It's an amazing opportunity.
Which is right. So let's get straight into it. Bob Marley Hope Road at Mandalay Bay. Big, immersive, and historic. What's your role in the production? Are you performing, narrating, or embodying a character?
Okay, so I play an I3, which of course you know are one of the three. It's what the background singers for Bob Marley is called, the I3. So
yes.
I do sing, and you know the I3 definitely played an integral part in Bob Marley's legacy, because they were always everywhere with him. They are always on his track, always on his shows, and I get to represent one of these strong women. And trust me when I tell you, being an entertainer where, you know, we do dancehall is a totally different energy performing as the lead singer. But I didn't realize how difficult it was to actually do background until taking on this project. So let me tell you, I raise my hats to the queens, Miss Rita Marley, Master Griffith, and Judy Mowat, because the work that they put in on those tracks, let me tell you, replicating it was so easy. Trust me, it was almost harder than actually recording my own track. You know, having to learn all of that, and it's just an honor. Trust me.
Okay. And again, how does it feel as a dancehall artist to be a part of something honoring the reggae legend himself, Bob Marley?
All right, so whether reggae or whether dancehall, it all represents one culture, and that's our little island, Jamaica. So whether being a dancehall artist or a reggae artist, you have had to know and listen and be influenced by Bob Marley. So getting to, you know, delve further into his life and what his lyrics stood for, his teachings, the whole meanings behind everything, it's mind blowing to see. You know, say a song you did really say. That's what he meant when he said that. It's like it gives you a deeper understanding, and it's like it's an eye opener, and you realize the reach and the power that our music has. And Bob Marley has basically paved the way for all other artists coming out of Jamaica to want to be like, and it's very, very large shoes to fill. And maybe, of course, there'll never be another Bob Marley, but it gives you hope. It gives you something to dream and to want to attain. So it is definitely a motivating factor in my musical career to say, okay, the world is big and Bob Marley has influenced the entire world. So there are ways that I can, you know, extend my reach and try and improve my craft. And it's him
True.
that is doing that.
Okay. What do you think Bob would say seeing his legacy live on in this modern interactive way?
Well, I've never met him in person. Unfortunately, he died before I was born. But based on the performances and the interviews that I've watched with him, he seems to be a very chill person. I think he would be proud, and at the same time, he seems very humble. So I think he maybe would have laugh and say, "Boy, and I just glad to say them a represent for our culture and our beliefs." So I feel he would be humbled, as he always seems, and would be
No.
proud that his children are carrying on his legacy and are involving other people at large to want to be a part of his legacy and his continued movement.
Okay, okay, cool, cool. And let me ask you now, were there any moment during rehearsal or performance that gave you goosebumps or had you so emotional?
To be honest, I always get goosebumps at rehearsals and performances, but the truth is, I get goosebumps watching my classmates rehearse. It's not necessarily me having to be on stage. I am around a group of such talent. I mean, I talk about it now. I literally get goosebumps. I am around a group of such talented people. Let us dance. You have singers there. You have the people that are doing spoken word, like narrator Hope. She sings as well as narrates the whole thing, and watching each hope, because we do have this various cast, and I listen to them, and everybody's interpretation of Bob Marley and his music is different, and it's just a joy to see how he affects different people in different ways, and each of them give me goosebumps. Let me tell you, I get lost in the moment a lot of times, and I'm like, "Hey, girl, you're supposed to work. You're working." I forget that I'm working, and that's also another privilege to actually be doing something that I'm enjoying myself, and I'm calling it work. Seriously, there's
Yeah.
nothing better. So I get
Okay.
lost in the moment so many times. And to see the work that the producers, the directors, the stage management, the lighting team, the sound team that they have put into this, it amazes me. I remember when we just came in before the venue was actually complete, and they showed us, they brought us inside their vision, and where the work started, and I'm like, wow. I looked at all of the effects and the speakers and the whole setup. It's just nothing I've ever seen. And I'm sure everybody that comes to see it will be mind blown to think that all of this is inside of a building. I feel like I'm outdoor. Whoa. If I say I move again, whoa, I feel like I'm in Trenchtown. And they did a beautiful job putting everything together. And the whole thing, seeing it come to life, it's amazing. You have to experience it to understand how I feel when I'm standing in the midst of it all.
Okay. And you saying that a lot of youths look up to Bob, but now they get that chance to feel his story thanks to this. How important is it for the new generation to connect with Marley's message?
I'm glad you asked this question. It is very important because I think as music evolved, as Jamaica's music evolved, it moved from reggae to dancehall to trap dancehall or whatever they're doing now. And it has changed not just in the sound, but in the message, in the lyrics. And as entertainers, we don't realize the power we have with the message that we send. And I think a lot of the youth get lost in the hype kind of message and not a deep seated, true, meaningful message. And I think as the younger generation come up, they keep listening to the new genre of music, you understand? So they don't really get to understand that there were people before that actually thought ahead and thought of how music could influence a whole nation or music could change the world. So it's very important that they get positive role models to listen to. Very, very important. And I think a lot of our kids are lost. They are lost. And it's like entertainers don't see where it is necessary to say certain things in music. And I can honestly say, sometimes let me put myself in it, we get lost in the hype and we do things we feel will rock somebody and not necessarily educate them. Because it's always easier to rock somebody than to get them to listen
Mhm.
when you try to teach them something. And that's facts. So sometimes we take the easy way out. So it's
Okay,
always
well,
good. It's always good to have a balance so they can see that if you want to dance, here's the person you listen to. But if you want to meditate, if you want to learn something, if you want to take a journey through history or a walk or a look at what the future could be, these are the artists that you listen to. So Bob Marley is one such artist. I mean, he has died so many years ago, but his music is still current, still meaningful, and still basically he saw what's happening now from then because the things that he's speaking about now are still in revelation mode right now. So it
true,
shows
because I
that
I always tell them Bob Marley never dies.
never,
And you know
never.
what? Being the fact that I said that, it's actually it's the first. It's gonna be known right here on the Entertainer Hotline podcast because you know how we think. It's from the grind to the glory, and because of this play a major role in my life now for me to actually step away from my regular job and say, listen to me, I'm gonna believe in myself. You know what I
You
mean?
told
And
that. Congratulations. It's
yes,
a big
it's true.
step, and it's a big move to make. It's a big chance to take on yourself. And if you don't take that chance and put that time and effort into your craft, no one else will. So kudos and congratulations.
I had to emancipate myself from certain stuff. You know what I mean? And just by saying that, if they're lost, you know where they need to be? They need to be at the Hope Road at Mandalay in Las Vegas. That's where they need to be. They'll find their way. They go and have that experience. I promise you, it's a whole life-changing experience. And just by saying that now, you're now part of that legacy. Do you feel a new level of responsibility as a voice of the culture?
I do. To be honest, sometimes I feel guilty. And that's just true. Like I would get calls to perform at schools sometimes. And because the nature of my music, I do have clean sound. And the truth is how the kids are, they know the raw songs too. So if you even go there and don't sing the raw songs, they might look like where the song they want me know, where the song they want me want hear. And if you do try to edit those songs on spot, then sing the raw version. So a lot of times I shy away from doing certain age restricted events, like school events. I rather go and sit with them and have a conversation and say, not everything is meant for kids, but this is like it makes me look at what will my legacy be when I'm not here? Will my music live on? So it definitely encourages me to look at a broader scale and be deeper influenced by Bob Marley and his legacy that has lived on through his children, his extended tribe. And it makes you take a introspective look at, what will I be? What will my music become? What shall be my legacy? So it has given me some.
That's true. That's true. This is more than a concert or a museum. It's a fully immersive tribute that takes you deep into Bob Marley's journey through music, culture, and a purpose. Can you tell us a bit more about the two immersive experience? Just a little bit. You just got to elaborate. But if they really want to know, they can check out hoperoad.com. But
Right.
go
That's where
ahead.
you get tickets are available at boatroad.com. All right. So there's the daytime experience where you walk through and you get to, it's like an interactive gaming experience, how I would call it. It's just, you have to see it to believe it. There's live music there as well. And there's actually a setup of his studio, his recording studio, where you can actually see what's it like being inside of a studio. It's a really cool walkthrough. So the daytime doesn't have the same element as the nighttime experience. The nighttime, which I am a part of, is where you will see the performances, the singers, the dancers, and see everything come to life in another way. So it's really two different experiences and two great experiences to have.
Okay, okay. That's what's up. That's what's up.
So
What
when
do
are you
you,
booking,
huh?
when are you booking your ticket? Because you
Listen,
need to fly out.
I'm, listen, if I have to fly out or drive in some way, somehow, I'm gonna be there. I will be there. Hope Road. I will be
I'm
there
definitely
for
gonna
sure.
follow for you.
All right, then. What do you hope people take away after experiencing Hope Road, both the show and the daytime exhibit?
You just get to revel in the the life of Marley. You get to for an hour or so, you get to, feel what it was like to be a part of his life, his music, his journey, his influence, it's like you're right there, standing there. You get to just, absorb it all in. It's very hard to explain it. And I think it affects everyone on a different level, and everyone will have a different takeaway from it. So it's definitely something you want to experience for yourself. But it also makes you see that music is so powerful and it doesn't die when the body exits earth. It lives on. So you'll have that there to always cheer somebody up, always uplift them, always educate them, always soothe them. It all depends the mood you're in. There's a song that expresses how you feel. And that's just exactly what music is. And it affects everyone in different ways. So I do believe you have to experience it for yourself. That's gonna be the takeaway for everyone.
True, true,
First
and it's
feeling.
and it's and it's and if you don't mind, it's. I think like everyone should really go out there and support it because you don't even have to go to Jamaica. You don't have to go to the airport or nothing like that international flight. You can just get an RV, go straight to Las Vegas, Mandalay Bay, Las Vegas, and the tickets are way cheaper than a
Not
plane
just
ticket.
that. Not just that. There is also a retail store there. So you can get all your Marley souvenirs without having to worry about shipping or anything like that. You get to, see and pick and choose and refuse. Everything is right there. So it's a one-stop Marley shop. There are
True.
snacks and everything there. And of course, I mean, who doesn't love souvenirs? You want to remember that, listen, you experienced this new thing to hit Las Vegas, and of course you have a piece of Marley legacy. So why not?
That's so correct. And listen, you're still on the Entertainer Hotline podcast where we go from the grind to the glory, and that is Stacious, and she just give you a little piece of her story. Say glory. And if you know about the Entertainer Hotline podcast, you know we got the quick fire segment. But for you, Stacious, I'm gonna just ask you 3 questions and you just answer them for me. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Favorite Bob Marley song of all time?
I have to pick two. Turn your lights down low and no woman will cry.
Oh my! I was thinking that you was gonna say One Love because I was like, everybody, But I know those 2 songs. Most powerful moment during rehearsal.
Most powerful moment during rehearsal. I guess I've had a few, and I think it's just for me, it's just realizing the talent that I'm surrounded by and how blessed I am to be chosen to be a part of this project. So I think that's just always my wow factor, like, wow, I'm here. I'm a part of this. I guess I'm actually good enough. Because sometimes as an artist, you doubt yourself when after putting in a certain amount of work for years, you feel like you kind of stagnant after a while, like, what am I doing wrong? And then a door you didn't even know exists opened up for you, and you realize how blessed you are to, have been able to put foot through that door, as we Jamaicans would have say. So
Mhm.
it's just, I'm just so grateful and blessed to be here among such great talents.
Okay, and one word to describe the Hope Road experience.
Amazing. Truly is.
Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up. And Statious, the people are feeling the vibes. Big respect for repping the culture inside the Bob Marley Hope Road experience. Before we lock off, tell the fans where they can link you, stream your music, and of course, grab tickets to Hope Road at Mandalay, Las Vegas.
All right, of course, I am the real Stacious on all platforms. That's Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. On Spotify, it's Stacious. Of course, you can stream everything there. Everything is available for download on all major platforms, including iTunes. And yeah, I do answer messages. Reach out, say hi. I don't bite. And of course, tickets to the best, hottest, newest show to hit Mandalay Bay, Las Vegas. They're available at hoperoad.com. So log on, click the link, buy the tickets. We have various times. So there's no excuse to say it's too early or it's too late. It's just the right time to do the right thing. Come see us.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure they're gonna want to know: is there a Hope Road soundtrack or a song coming from you? Is it in the
Well,
making?
the soundtrack, it's not like a movie where you're using other music or instrumentals in it. This movie features 100% Bob Marley songs. So I don't see a soundtrack coming out of it.
Well. Let me
Producer,
rephrase. Let me rephrase.
so maybe anything is possible.
Since music got so much, is there a song that you're gonna do to just let them know about Hope Road? Because you do so much songs
Sure.
for years.
Sure.
Yes.
Of course. That's definitely a possibility. And like I said, I literally fell in love with my classmates and how talented they are. So maybe there can be a track out of this. There can be.
And the cast is from all over the world, correct?
Yes. But most of the cast, or should I say, some of the cast do have Jamaican background, and some of us we actually came in from Jamaica. So it's a blended cast. Bob Marley speaks of unity, one love. Like it's connecting to people. It's not just one race, you know. Bob Marley music affects or touches so many people. So I'm really happy with how it was casted. I think it's a beautiful blend. And that way, the Jamaicans in this cast, we get to teach others about our island and our culture. And it's just
True.
so amazing watching them soak it all up and then come and then say, what this mean? So, oh, you said this. Or, tell us, how you eat this. Is this real food? Is this poison? They just ask the weirdest question, but it's just part of the experience. And I'm just loving every minute of it.
Okay. That's what's up. Stacious, it's been nothing but love and inspiration having you on the Entertainer Hotline Podcast. And as I say again, from the grind to the glory. Big up for the works you're doing inside the Bob Marley Hope Road experience. You're carrying that torch strong. Until next time, keep it locked. And as we say, from the grind to the glory. Boom, we're out.
Birthday.